Hello fellow comrades, welcome back. This is Victus, and today in Factions and Starting Positions we're going to check out Lucium Total War, a mod that it changes Medieval 2 and it converts the game in Empire. We're going to check out right now the factions of the map that comprises Europe and Middle East. We're going to begin with the United Kingdom, and you can see that we have 25 nations to choose from. There is another campaign that is centered on the revolution of Bolivar in South America, and we're going to check that as well. So let's begin with Lucium Total War. Actually, the mod comprises the years from 1700 up to 1850. Very interesting. An era that the franchise has never touched after the Napoleonic Wars, and people as well, just as we are hoping for the franchise to expand into the Victorian era. Let's begin with the United Kingdom. Now, I believe that you're going to check here what are the regions that you need to hold in order to do the long campaign and the short campaign. So we have 40 regions for short and 55 regions for long. So let's go ahead and let's begin with the United Kingdom. See on the map. So for the United Kingdom, we have London as the starting position. We can see that the United Kingdom has a possession in the area of Netherlands. If we go to the overview, we see that the capital city is London, the faction leader is King William, and is going to be considered as well the greatest general. It has 2 fortifications and 9 cities. So let's check out King William. So King William is the ruler of Netherlands, is the King of England, Scotland and Ireland, and he has a command of 5 stars, 49 years old, and it has this thing called traditional. I've seen that there are some changes here, because here we see traditional and then you're going to see something around progressive. However, it has a lot of traditional sort of points here. So it has very nice descriptions. Can be caught attending meetings with ultra-conservative groups, whilst those in his family are elsewhere. In authority, he has 4, and he's quite pious. 5 rings in piety here. So he's the faction leader, King William III, and his joint monarch Queen Anne. Now, a characteristic of this mod is that it has interesting descriptions like this. You're going to find a lot of this in this mod. It's a very nice touch. It says that he's Dutch and he's British, and this is the other traits: biological son, promising commander, intelligent, religiously minded, cruelly efficient, crew leader, good with guns, and he's a night fighter. Then we go for the Kingdom of France. So obviously for France we begin in Paris. We have King Louis as the faction leader and the greatest general Philippe Capet. Then we have 13 regions controlled, divided in 8 cities and 5 fortifications. Here is King Louis. King Louis has 4 stars in command. It has almost full traditional. If it were entirely up to this man, all modern ideas of equality and fraternity would be scrapped in favor of the better, more simple moral coding of the Middle Ages, such as the return of the fun pastime that is peasant shooting. And no, I didn't mean pheasant. So yeah, you see these hilarious descriptions. So then we have a lot of authority here, representing the time or the king, King Louis. And then you see foreign piety, visage of the Sun King. So yeah, this is the Roi du Soleil. So it's the Sun King. So visage of the Sun King. And the King of France. He's the faction leader, King Louis the 14th, Louis the Great. And as always, I'm going to go through the traits. He's French, notoriety of House Capet, French aristocratic lifestyle, proven commander, strong language, poor speaker, inbred, cruelly exacting taxman, quite merciless and good with guns. 52 years old, just to check that out. And of course we go to the Philippe Capet, which is this guy.
Orders?
This is considered the greatest general of the faction, Philippe Capet, which is 5 in command and 48 years old. He does not have anything in progressive, and it is very, very loyal. You can see that he has a food taster with him as a retinue. He is French. He has authority of House Orleans, French aristocratic lifestyle, shameful, promising commander, strong language, born to command, good with cavalry, merciful commander, and night fighter. Now we go to Iberia and the Spanish Empire. For Iberia, in the center of the Iberian Peninsula, we have Madrid as the starting position. It is a vast empire comprising the south of Italy and, of course, the Netherlands. Let's check the faction leader, which is going to be King Charles, the greatest general, Prince Philippe. 13 regions controlled, divided in 6 fortifications and 7 cities. So let's go ahead and check King Charles. Now, he is the King of Spain, as you can see. He is of the Habsburg dynasty. You can see here, King Charles II von Habsburg. And he does not have anything in command. He has 39 years old. He is progressive, very, very low. This man favors progressive ideals. He may not particularly understand them, but he tries. He has 1 point in authority, and it's quite pious with 5 rings in with piety. Faction leader, biological son, is Habsburg, is Spanish. Horrific product of rampant incest. A bit rough, understanding ruler, effete, and he's a promising commander. So this is for King Charles. We go ahead and check right now the Prince Philippe, which is the greatest commander for the Spanish Empire. Prince Philippe is not so great, 3 stars, 1 point in traditional, very loyal, 3 points in piety, heir apparent, you can see here, Philip V. He is the first Spanish king of the House of Bourbon, which continues to this day. So it has this description here. Is French, is tragically French, is a minority, talent for command, promising commander, and good with guns. Then we go to Italy. The Duchy of Savoy. For the Duchy of Savoy, obviously we have Savoy here. We have regions such as Turin, and this is the faction leader Duke Victor Amadeus of Piedmont. The greatest general is himself as well, with 2 regions controlled, and 1 is a city and 1 is a fortification. Now, So now let's go ahead and see who is Duke Victor Amadeus of Piedmont. So this guy has a command of 4, age 35, 2 points in progressive, with a lot of authority, 8 points in authority and 3 rings in piety. He has with him a drill master, and he is the Duke of Savoy. He is Italian, promising commander. He has talent for command, promising attacker, political animal, and is smart. Now let's have a look at the most serene Republic of Venezia. So with the most serene Republic of Venezia, we have, of course, Venice. We can see that it has, as historically is, some regions in the Adriatic with its fleet, and of course the regions that are here in Greece. Let's see who is the faction leader. Doge Giovanni. And the greatest general is Cristiano Bonne. It has 4 regions, 1 is a city and 3 are fortifications. So let's have a look at Doge Giovanni. Doge Giovanni,
orders, noble one.
here you got him. He's the Serene Doge of Venice, 50 years old, 2 points in command, 2 points in progressive, 9 points in authority with a very high authority, and 3 rings in piety. He has with him an apothecary. He is Italian, talent for command, promising defender, perfect politician, which gives a lot of authority here, skilled bureaucrat, and severe. So now let's go ahead and check Cristiano Bonne, which is a family member and is located in Athens. He has 3 commands, 27 years old, very young, nothing in progressive, very loyal, 8 points in loyalty and 3 points in piety. With him we have a drill master for his retinue. He's Italian, he's Greek, he has born to command and promising attacker, and he is eager. Continuing here, we have again Italy, the Duchy of Genoa. For the Duchy of Genoa, we have Genoa. The faction leader is Duque Girolamo, and the greatest general, Count Antonio. With Genoa, you control 2 regions, 1 fortification and 1 city. Faction leader,
Your orders, noble one.
Duke Girolamo, has 47 years. He has 3 command, 2 points in progressive, 8 points in authority, and 3 rings in piety. He is the Duke of Genoa, and with him we can find an apothecary. He is Italian, aspiring commander, political animal, skilled bureaucrat, severe, and good with infantry.
Orders?
Count Antonio in Ajaccio, he is a 5 command general, 31 years old, no points in progressive. He's 8 rings in loyalty, which means that he's very loyal, but not so pious. His retinue, we find a drill master. He is the heir apparent. He is Italian. He's a promising commander, born to command, political promise, bold attacker, and a night fighter. Continuing in Italy, we got the Papal States. Of course, the capital city and starting position for the Papal States is the city of Rome. The faction leader is Pope Clement, and the greatest general is Innocent. You control 2 regions, 1 is a fortification and 1 is a city. So let's have a look at Pope Clement.
Name
Pope
thy
Clement
enemy, Lord.
is 58 years old with 2 command, 3 points in traditional, 7 in authority, and of course the Vicar of Rome has full piety. With his retinue we got a Doctor, and he is the Holy Pope. He is a servant of God, promising commander, political animal, skilled bureaucrat, severe, good with guns, and minor aristocratic birth.
Let me strike, my lord.
Innocent, which would be the greatest general. He is 50 years old, 5 stars in command, 1 point in traditional, 8 in loyalty, and 8 in piety. Very pious as well. None retinues for Innocent. He is the servant of God, talent for command, intelligent, social drinker. He is the heir apparent, minor aristocratic birth, and a night fighter. Now going to the north, we got the Kingdom of Prussia. So as I mentioned before, going to the north into the German nations, we go to Berlin as the starting position for the faction of Prussia. The faction leader is King Frederick, and the greatest general is King Frederick as well. 4 regions controlled, 1 fortification, and 3 cities. So let's have a look at King Frederick.
Yeah.
King Frederick is a 43 years old man. 7 in command, 2 points in traditional, and 8 points in authority, with 3 rings in piety. He is the King of Prussia, faction leader, King Frederick I in Prussia. Biological son is German, aspiring commander, talent for command, promising defender, intelligent, good with guns, and a night fighter. Up to this point, this is the most powerful commander that we have seen so far. Continuing with the German nations, we have the Duchy of Bavaria. The starting position for the Duchy of Bavaria, Heidelberg. The city of Heidelberg, in which the faction leader is Duke Maximilian Emmanuel, the greatest general is Lord Maximilian Joseph. 2 regions control, 1 fortification, and 1 city. Duke Maximilian Emmanuel is a 44-year-old man. He's the Duke of Bavaria, with 4 stars in command, 2 in traditional. He has an authority of 7 and 5 in piety. He's the faction leader, he's German, promising commander, talent for command, religiously minded, and good at math. For the guy that is the greatest general, we got in Munich, Lord Maximilian Joseph. 28 years young man with 5 in command, nothing in progressive or traditional, 8 in loyalty, very loyal, and very pious indeed, with 7 rings in piety. With him, we see a librarian. He is German, strategically sound, talent for command, religiously devout, and a night fighter. Next, on the German nations, we got the Electorate of Colonia. For the Electorate of Colonia, starting position, Cologne. The faction leader, Duke Elector Volkmar the Liberal, and as well for the greatest general, Duke Elector Volkmar the Liberal. 2 regions control, 1 fortification, and 1 city. Let's have a look at Volkmar. Volkmar is a 33-year-old man with 4 stars in command, 2 in progressive, 7 in authority and 4 in piety. He is the Prince Elector of Colonia, faction leader, his German, aspiring commander, religiously proper, champion of kindness, and good with guns. Another German nation, the Duchy of Westphalia. For the capital, we got Frankfurt, the starting position of the Duchy of Westphalia. Duke Ortvinus is the faction leader, and as well he is the greatest general. With Westphalia we control 2 regions, 1 fortification and 1 city. So the Duke Ortvinus is the Duke of Westphalia with 5 stars in command, 42 years old, 2 points in progressive, 7 in authority, and 5 in piety. He's German as well, aspiring commander, talent for command, religiously minded, skilled bureaucrat, progressive in combat, progressive in rule, and a night fighter. For Scandinavia, we got the Swedish Empire. Here, in the cold north, we got the Swedish Empire with its capital Stockholm. Starting position of the Swedish Empire. Faction leader, King Charles, and the greatest general, King Charles as well. 10 regions controlled, 4 fortifications and 6 cities.
An order!
King Charles is a 10 commander, 34 years old, a young, very powerful commander with 2 points in traditional, 7 in authority and 4 in piety. With him there is a shield bearer, and he's the king of the Swedish. He is Carolus Rex himself. He's a famed across northern Europe for, despite his age, his knack of 4 commands and a pure combat planning ability. He truly is one of the greatest generals of all time. He is Swedish, the blood of Carolus Rex. He is related in some way to Carolus Rex. Aspiring commander, talent for command, risky attacker, religiously proper, budding bureaucrat, and a night fighter. So possibly up to this point, more powerful than the King of Prussia, King Charles, the Swedish army has the best general so far. Continuing with Scandinavia, we go to the west and we find the Kingdom of Denmark, Norway. The capital, Copenhagen, of the Kingdom of Denmark, Norway, with King Frederick, the faction leader, and the greatest general, King Frederick as well. With Denmark, you control 4 regions, 1 fortification, and 3 cities.
Your will shall be obeyed!
In Aarhus, King Frederick is located with 4 stars, 2 points in traditional, 7 in authority, and 4 in piety. He is a young guy of 39 years. Accompanying him, there is a shield bearer. He is the King of Denmark, Norway. He is Danish, and he is Norwegian, aspiring commander, talent for command, risky attacker, religiously proper, and budding bureaucrat. The Holy Roman Empire, the Austrian Empire. Vienna is the capital of the Austrian Empire, or the Holy Roman Empire. Emperor Leopold is the faction leader, and the greatest general is Eugene De Savoya. 12 regions controlled, with 3 fortifications and 9 cities. Let's have a look at Emperor Leopold. Emperor Leopold is a 58 years old. He's an old man of 4 command, 1 point in progressive, and 9 points in authority. He has 5 points in piety. He has the Holy Roman Crown. He is the King of Austria, and with him we can find an apothecary. He's German, aspiring commander, eager, religiously minded, and reformist ruler. A well-meaning man, however, he occasionally shows his bias for the rich over the poor. Then we got Eugene De Savoya.
Yeah.
Eugene De Savoya in Croatia, 37 years old. 6 points in command, nothing in progressive or traditional. 3 points in loyalty, very, very unloyal. And 4 points in piety. Nothing in his retinue. He is Italian, hates the French, born conqueror, intelligent, gets married, religiously proper, is a minority, and is a night fighter. Going to the east, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, or the Crewo Union. Capital city, Warsaw. The faction leader, King Augustus of Poland-Lithuania, and the greatest general, Michał Wisniewski. 9 regions controlled, 3 fortifications, and 6 cities. Let's have a look at King Augustus of Poland.
I will make them fear you.
38 years old, with 2 command. 8 points in traditional. All this man can think about all day is the supposed injustices performed against him by those originating from outside his country's borders. To him, there is nothing worse than a bloody foreigner. He has 4 points in authority and 3 points in piety. He's the Elector of Saxony, the King of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and the advantages of dual monarchy. He is German, he's a minority, underhanded, inefficient administrator, sloppy taxman, cold commander, cruel leader, iron-fisted, good with guns, and religiously devout. Now we're going to go into the sphere of influence of the Turks. So we're going to the Turks or Ottoman Empire. The capital city of the Turks is Istanbul, that is called here Constantinople. Let's have a look at what we got with them. We have the faction leader, Grand Sultan Mustafa, and the greatest general, Grand Sultan Mustafa. Now, regions control 33 regions, 10 fortifications, and 23 cities. Up to this point, concerning the regions control, this is the numerous region-wise empire that we have seen up to this point. Let's have a look at Grand Sultan Mustafa. Grand Sultan Mustafa here, he is 40 years old, 5 command, 4 in traditional, 7 in authority, and 4 in piety. He is the Sultan of the Ottoman Turks, and with him accompanies the services of an apothecary. He is Turkish. He's an aspiring commander, religiously proper, intelligent, and a night fighter. Then, a little bit to the north, we got the Wallachia Moldovia. With Wallachia Moldovia, we have Bucharest as the capital city and as a starting position. We can see that the faction leader is King Constantine the Moral and the greatest general is Prince Antio. 2 regions controlled, 1 fortification and 1 city. Let's have a look at King Constantine the Moral, which is a 38-year-old with 3 command, nothing in progressive nor traditional, 6 in authority and 5 in piety. He is the Duke of Wallachia Moldavia, the faction leader, is Romanian, intelligent, religiously minded, utterly immaculate, and good with guns. Now, the Prince Antio is this guy, 22 years old, as well 4 points in command, nothing in progressive nor traditional, 8 points in loyalty, which makes him a very loyal character, and 3 points in piety, nothing in its retinue. He is the heir apparent, he's Romanian, promising commander, eager, smart, and social drinker. Now, in continuing the sphere of influence of the Turks, the Ayalet of Egypt capital city, Cairo. For the faction leader, Emir Kara the Moral and the greatest general, Bey Ali. 5 regions controlled, 2 fortifications, and 3 cities. Emir Kara the Moral is a 41 years old man with 3 command, 1 point in traditional, 7 points in authority, and 5 points in piety. He is the Bey of Egypt, he's a faction leader, is a Mamluk, is Egyptian, intelligent, religiously minded, utterly immaculate, and good with guns. Bey Ali,
what is the Sultan's will?
Is a 23-year-old with 4 in command and 8 in loyalty, very loyal one, 3 in piety, nothing in the retinue. Is as well Mamluk and Egyptian, promising commander, eager, smart, and social drinker. Next we have the Barbary States of Northern Africa. The Barbary States are located in Northern Africa and the capital city is Tunis. For the faction leader we have Dey Hajj and the greatest general Al-Hussein. Regions controlled 4, which 1 is a fortification and 3 are cities. Dey Hajj is a 48 years old man with 3 command, nothing in progressive and traditional, 2 points in authority, and nothing in piety. Now he has the advantages of being a pirate and is the Pasha of Tunis, Tripoli, and Algiers. He is a Maghrebi. He has a minor aristocratic birth, ebony and ivory and Barbary. Intelligent, religiously minded, and good with guns. Now let's have a look at the greatest general, which is called Al-Hussein.
As my Sultan wills.
This guy is a 20-year-old young man with 5 points in command, 5 points in progressive, adherence to strict moral code that consists of as many rules as there are genders. Keep this man popular in the eyes of womenfolk. He's not too loyal with 3 points in loyalty and nothing in piety. He has the advantages of being a pirate, he's Maghrebi, ebony and ivory and Barbary. Proven commander, natural commander, good with cavalry, skilled with infantry, progressive in rule, merciful commander, humanist, budding bureaucrat, political animal, very loyal, and night fighter. Continuing in Northern Africa, we go to the Fest of Morocco. For the Fest of Morocco, we have Marrakesh as the capital city and starting position for this nation. We got the faction leader Sultan Ismail and the greatest general Crown Prince Mohammed. 3 regions control, 1 fortification and 2 cities. Sultan Ismail is an old man of 50 years old. He has 3 in command, 2 points in traditional, 7 points in authority, 3 in piety. He is the Fest of Morocco. He is Maghrebi, aspiring commander, eager, and the bastion of health. The Crown Prince Mohammed.
What is the Sultan's will?
He is the heir apparent, 35 years old, 4 in command, nothing in progressive nor traditional, 8 points in loyalty, and 3 points in piety. He has nothing in his retinue. He is Maghrebi, aspiring commander, eager and smart.